everyone, welcome back to Studio 33 Art by Kay. Today what I'd like to do is I'd like to do a double dip again where I put two ceramic tiles, one on top of the other, to create a beautiful pattern, and I'm trying to get the impression of maybe some irises. So I've got some new colours that I'm going to be trying out today, so it'll be just a bit of an experiment, because I'd like to then use these same colours on a large 30 by 60 centimetre ceramic tile to make a table centrepiece. But I wanted to try the colours on a smaller tile so that I'm not using so much paint in case it doesn't work out how I'd like it to. So these tiles today are just 150 millimetres by 150 millimetres. So I will turn those into two large coasters. I personally like large coasters. So that's what we're going to do. So I will list all of the colours that I'm going to be using in the description box, which you can get to by hitting on the description of this video, except on your smart TV, which won't take you there. And I would really love it if you're liking what I'm doing here today, if you'd throw some comments, if you'd like to ask any questions. I'm very happy to answer those questions for you. And of course, if you could subscribe to my channel as well, that would be fantastic. That just shows me your support, and it means a lot to me actually. So that would be really great. And it costs you absolutely nothing to subscribe at all. It's totally free. Okay, so what I'm going to use today is I'm going to use a base where I've mixed the Eraldo Silver Cloud with the metallic ice. I really love this metallic ice. It's got a beautiful sheen to it. So I'm hoping that my base will have that sheen to it as well. So I'll first of all lay that. Now I'm just going to, with a double dip, you just put the base on one tile and the other one doesn't have any paint. Although you can put the paint on the on both tiles if you want to, and it'll give you a different effect again, because obviously you'll have the white paint from the top tile will come off onto the other one. So it's just a different effect, and one day I will do that experiment for you as well, so you can see the difference. So I'm just layering enough paint to get a decent base. When you put the two tiles together, some of this paint will come off, and I'll need to just touch up the edges. But I do like to make sure there is at least some paint along the edges, so that if any of the paint squeezes over the side, it's got something there already. So we'll have a nice tidy edge, which is important when you go to make these into a coaster, that the edges look nice as well. I think I always like to have the nice edges. So all I've done with these ceramic tiles is I have just cleaned them with isopropyl alcohol and a paper towel, and that's all it needs. You don't have to gesso or anything else prior to putting down your paints. I'm just going to hit that with the heat tool, just so you can see there's lots of little bubbles there. Okay, so I've got some beautiful colours. I'm going to first of all lay it, I'm just going to put probably 3 little circles to create the flowers. If I was using a bigger tile, which I'm going to be doing, obviously I'd use more than 3 circles. So the first colour I'm going to lay down is the Eraldo Metallic Burst Orange, which is a gorgeous metallic colour. So hopefully you'll be able to see when I'm doing this here. It's just lovely. I hope you can see the sheen there. So I'll just make a little puddle there to create one. Hopefully this will be in the middle of the flowers that I'm making. So totally experimental, just to see how this turns out. And I might put another couple just down here as well. I do love the double dips. I think really anyone can get a good result. It might not be the result that you're after. Obviously, getting the results you're after take a lot of practice, but you can still get a beautiful result, whatever comes out of it, I believe. So this is the Eraldo purple I'm putting down next, which isn't a metallic, it's just a straight purple, and it's that beautiful purple. They're just such lovely paints, these. So I'm not going to put it in a pile on top of that. I'm actually going to try and come around it, so the colours will sort of be more individual rather than one on top of the other. This is always easier if you've got it in a squeeze bottle, of course. I haven't put these in the squeeze bottle yet, being that they're new colours. I'm already loving the purple and that beautiful burst orange together. How can you fail? We will see. So that's just those. I'll put these aside so I don't spill them, which wouldn't surprise me. So the next colour I'm putting in is the Global Fuschia, which is a lovely colour, and I've got that in my little squeeze bottle. I'm just going to put that around the edge of that. So much easier when you've got it in a bottle. Probably going to have too much paint on here for the size of the tile. Could have done something this size on a much bigger tile, but and the next one is the metallic purple Sequin, which is a new colour. It's a semi-transparent. Again, it's just got a beautiful sheen to it. And I've mixed these paints just to the consistency where they been drizzled back into the cup. They make a little mound which lasts for 2 seconds and then disappears. Now these are all going to be blending into each other, which is not really what I was trying to do. I was trying to keep them separate. Gone much bigger than I thought, but this will still work out great. Whoops. And if it doesn't, I can always scrape it. Now I'm going to create some little stalks here using the metallic penny Loafer from Eraldo, which is another new colour. I mean, brownie colours aren't really my thing, but that is super lovely. I'm just going to do some little stalky bits. Coming down, bringing these together somehow. And I won't worry about that back one. I'll do this as if it was coming through. And then, just to create some greenery, I'm using the Global Green Light, which is a beautiful green, really bright green. My son Kieran would love that. He loves anything with the bright greens. He used to have a bedroom painted just about exactly that colour. How he ever slept in that room, I will never know, but he loved it. Just creating some little leaf shapes. Put a bit of colour in there at the bottom. Maybe just put a bit up here as well. So this is where your creativity comes into it. And just do whatever takes your fancy, really. Might just put a little tiny bit in here as well. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am just going to get my other tile. I think I've got enough paint down and it has nothing on it. All I've done is cleaned it. I'm going to put it on top of here. The hardest part is lifting the top tile off the bottom tile. What I'd like to do though, and I'm going to get messy doing it, is just put a little bit of paint around the edges here, just to help with the finished product. So when it squishes out, it's got something you can roll over. You don't have to do that. You can fix up your edges later as well. I'm sorry, I'm out of view there. Right, so here we go. Oh, before I do that, I better just burst those bubbles. You can see a few. And here we go. Now you want to make sure you've got enough contact. You don't want to squeeze it out too much, but you want to put enough pressure that you have got contact on all the edges. Otherwise, when you lift it up, the top one won't be covered enough. Now, here we go. Whoops, it's slipping. Got it. Well, I don't know about you, but that's really pretty. Wow. I love those colours together, that burst orange, metallic burst orange here with the purple, and also with the metallic purple sequin. It's lovely, and of course that green light. And I quite like the penny loafer too. It's lovely. So now I'll just put this one aside for a sec. So I'm really liking those colours together. I haven't got any gold in there for a change. So I'm just going to actually hit it with the, instead of the heat embossing tool, I'm going to hit it with the butane torch, because I've seen that that does help to bring up cells better. So I'll just do that. Just trying to bring up a little bit of lacing. Not a lot of lacing coming up there. Right, so that's basically it. I'll just fix up the edges here. That's a beautiful piece that I know someone will love. And as I've said before, it's doing a double dip is pretty much a fail-safe method of fluid art. You really can't go far wrong. Just lift that up. Bring the other one over just to show you how I'm going to fix up the edges on the other one. This is when I wish I had 4 hands instead of 2. Ugh. It'd be easier if I had a bigger base there. And it's better when I can get down to 2 hands. Okay. So where the top one, you can see here that the paint didn't come off onto the edge there because the base didn't have as much as the rest of it. So I'm just going around and literally just filling in the gaps, and that will self-level as it's drying. And that's 2 beautiful tiles that are slightly different to each other, or from each other. Got to get your English right. Different from. And I'm just going to put more paint on the edge there, make sure it's covered, so we get a nice edge for when I'm putting my resin on later in a couple of weeks' time when this is completely dried. Can't see what I'm doing at the back there, but feels like it's going on. Okay, and I'll just give it a little torch. And that's it. 2 beautiful tiles there together. I'll try and move them both into view for you. Oh, not quite. Move it over a little bit more. Are we in there? Yes. So that's 2 beautiful tiles there that'll make a lovely gift. The colours have definitely worked well together. So I'm happy with that. So what do you think, guys? You like those? You like those colour combinations? I think that that's really nice. So now all I'm going to do is get my finger and run along the bottom, or you can use, you don't have to use your finger, you can use a wooden stick or whatever else. I need to pull them apart a bit so I can get to the other edge of there. And that's just to stop any paint from running over the edge, because those drips continue to pull the paint over. Also, when I finish off my tiles, I like to put the cork so it has a slight shadow line underneath. So by rubbing the paint along the edges, that creates a nice edge, so that when you look at the back of the tile and you look at the cork has a nice painted edge around the edge of it, which you can always do later as well. I mean, it's not, you know, essential, but it's just how I do it. Everyone does things differently. No right or wrong answers. As Julie Cube always says, my art room, my rules, and that's just one of my things that I like to do. All right, guys, so I hope you've enjoyed that. I'll bring you down for a close-up. Okay, so here we are down for our close-up. This one is the one that was on the bottom. You can tell that by the sides there because the paint's run over. So that was the bottom one. And as you can see, it's very pretty. And come down, a few little cells and a bit of lacing there. And then we'll come over to the one that was on top. As you can see, the colours haven't gone over the edge, which is normal. And that's very pretty too. Hasn't got quite as much lacing as the bottom one, but still very nice just the same. And that's both of them together. Okay, well, thank you for joining me today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that and that you'll have a go at that. I'm sure you'll get a great result. And if you like, you can post some of the things that you've done on my Facebook page, Studio 33 Art by Kay, because I'd really love to see what you've achieved. Okay, guys, see you back here soon. Bye-bye.